Hello, welcome again to Medical Ethics. This is Alex Anderson. Um, don't worry, I'm planning on being merciful on you. This will be a very short video. I just want to go over um, the confusing parts and the parts that are most relevant uh, as we talk about arguments. That's formal arguments. That's not just getting mad at people. Um, as you can see in the readings. Um, so first let's look at a valid and sound argument. This argument, its form is valid, which means that the two sentences up top, uh, all men are mortal and Socrates is a man, these are called premises. If those are true, then necessarily the conclusion, therefore Socrates is mortal, is true. That's the power of arguments. When you have a valid argument form, it doesn't matter what you put in there. As long as what you put in there is true, the uh, the result will also be true. Um, However, this can get rather tricky because there are valid arguments that are not sound. Um, Looking at this, all ostriches are blue. Socrates is an ostrich. Therefore, Socrates is blue. Now, this is a valid argument. The fact that all the premises and the conclusion are false has nothing to do with its validity. The form is correct, therefore, it is valid. What it isn't is sound. Um, Everything, each of the premises, all ostriches are not blue. Socrates is not an ostrich. Um, and the conclusion, Socrates is not blue, are all false. Um, so this sort of helps figure out the difference between soundness and validity. Um, all sound arguments are valid, but not all valid arguments are sound. So one way to attack an argument is to say it has a false premise, um, or something that they're assuming is false. Uh, and in medical ethics, that will be most of what we will be doing. Um, you you will find premises that you think are false, and you will explain why you think they're false and why it it causes a problem for the arguments of the people we'll be looking at. Okay. Now there's another possibility. Arguments with a true conclusion. This argument is also valid. All dogs are ugly. Socrates is a dog. Therefore, Socrates is ugly. However, both of its conclusions are false. Not all dogs are ugly. There are some very cute dogs, and I'm sure you can find them among your friends and family. Also, Socrates is not a dog. However, according to our sources and according to the people that wrote about Socrates, Socrates was indeed ugly. So this argument is valid. It is not sound. Um, but it does have a good, true conclusion. And if you want to establish the fact that Socrates is ugly, you need different premises because these premises are false. So we'll see sometimes you will have faulty arguments that argue for a viewpoint that you actually agree with. Um, this is good because you can then say you can then argue, this is not the best way to argue for this thing that I actually agree with. That's something that we will be doing sometimes in this class. I hope you'll be doing sometimes. Um, anyway, that's the hope. And then finally, just the types of arguments. Um, so up here in the top left, we have modus ponens, if A then B, A therefore B, um, and then modus tollens, if A then B, not B, therefore not A. So each of these letters are things like Socrates or blue or mortal. They are um, they they are movable parts. They're variables, just like in algebra. Um, Again, this is why we call it these formal arguments, because what matters is the form, not the content. The A's, the B's, and the C's are all content, and if you can arrange that content correctly, and you can find some true premises, you will always get a sound argument. All right, so another one would be a disjunctive argument. If you could establish either A or B, and then you can establish not A, you can say, therefore B is true. And then a hypothetical syllogism, which you'll see sort of looks like a uh, transitive identity. If you remember that from math, if A then B, if B then C, therefore if A then C. If I don't wake up when my alarm uh, goes off, then I will be late for work. If I am late for work, then I will uh, get fired. Therefore, if I don't wake up when my alarm goes off, I will get fired. All right, so if that makes sense, then have a good one. Like I said, short video this week. Hello? Oh no.